Peace, everybody. What's good? It's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, and you and I were tuned to New Media Today USA Boxing. Let's go. Salute everybody, what's going on? It's our boy Coach Malachi Williams. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know I did a show earlier this week with Bill Haney, but what I decided to do was a lot of people did not see the entire show. Maybe they didn't even see the entire interview. So what I decided to do was edit the actual show and then let you guys see the interview in its entirety. Also, the interview will be time-stamped. So you can pretty much skip to whatever parts that you want to go to in the interview, but please leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Bill, what's good, man? What's good? How you feeling, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Blessed by the best, praying for the rest, sir. You know what I mean? Everything is good.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you took the time out of your busy day, man, to come on. You told me you was gonna pull up. I really appreciate that, fam. You didn't have to, but I really appreciate that. Really appreciate
we got a lot of things going on in the world, so as a family, we're going through some things that's non-boxing related, so everybody just keep us in your prayers. We appreciate you, but for this moment, thank you for having me on the platform. Thank you for everybody in the chat and this boxing thing that I love and that we all love. You know what I mean? Kind of takes me away sometimes from the problems of the world. So and I hope that it does the same for others.
Yes, sir. Bill, I'm gonna get right into it. Hold on, Bill. Somebody else sent the super chat. Shout out to Drew.
Hey, okay.
Drop another half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Okay. Drew say real. He said, yeah, Bill Haney in the building, real Bay Area boss, town business. You know what I mean? The only father in boxing, who was paid before his son got the belt. And don't take his sunshine.
Hey, listen. I've been blessed that I've not had my hand out, you know what I'm saying? But I have to be very truthful. This is the best time that we're having of our lives. Alhamdulillah, that Devin is the undisputed king of the lightweight division, and my belief that he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing right now.
Okay, all right. But Bill, that has yet to been. Well, you say that's your belief, but that has yet to been proven. They gotta, I got a motto over here, man. The top guys got to fight each other in order to clear all doubt. You old school, I'm old school, but that's my position.
See, the thing is, we only can talk from each other's perspective and what we actually get a chance to see. And if you got a chance to see what I see both inside the ring and outside the ring, when it comes to the actual business of making the fights, then you would probably feel as confident as I feel about Devin's position. So, but definitely you get it straight down the middle in terms of how you feel, and you don't never waver from your belief. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like to just come on here on the show and you know what I'm saying, and touch the people.
Yeah, okay. Well, Bill, listen, thank you so much, brother. Let's get into the interview. So, Bill, for people who don't know, I don't want to assume that everybody that's in this chat who may see this video later on down the line know who you are. So, for those who don't know, give people a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, the thing that I'm doing now, you know what I'm saying, is not only working with my son, who I keep saying is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. Undisputed, WBC, WBO, IBF, ring, WBA, and all those good things. But I'm also a dedicated father to a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I'm also a very committed partner to my older son that's 32 that has my grandbaby. There's 3. So, we got a lot going on in the Haney clan. And you know what I'm saying? So anytime I get a chance to shed any light about something that I'm happy about or something that I'm doing, anybody that knows me or follow me, they know it's family on top of family. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. So how did you get your son into boxing?
Well, my son has a cliche saying that I don't know if you hear it, if you've heard it ever often before, but he says that boxing found him. He didn't find boxing. Mm-hmm. And, he started out having what was being described as a temper, short fuse. They said that he had ADD, an attention deficit disorder, because he wasn't focused on the things that they were giving him. And what I did was I said, well, maybe he doesn't like it. You know what I mean? Maybe his passion is something that's non-traditional, or something that's not traditionally found in the schools that we go to. You know what I mean? A boxing program, very few schools, if any, have a boxing program. So what he was talented, his talent wasn't found inside the school system, although they were having pits back and forth to what we should do and how we should approach it. I decided to take him to the gym as a form of not only discipline, but also a form to just, see where you at, see if this is something that you really like. He took me up on my offer, and when he went to the gym, he was considered a natural. Derek Harmon, a good friend of ours who works really close with Bob Arum. If you ever see the guy,
Derek Harmon,
guy that's with Bob Arum, right? All the time. Everybody thinks that this guy is just a guy standing around, but the guy know how to fight really good. He's a former fighter who fought Roy Jones and happened to be the first coach that we walked in when we walked into the boxing gym. He was there. I went to the boxing gym, like I said. I wanted nothing more because Devin is an extremely athletic kid. I wanted him to see if he was really like that, coming from Oakland and moving to Las Vegas. We thought that the hardest place in the world was Oakland, and that Las Vegas, that you weren't going to be fighting, you weren't going to be doing none of that. So when he came back home from school and we had the parent-teacher conference and all of those things, I decided that that I would take him to the gym. Derek Harmon described.
At what age?
At 8.
8, okay.
Around 7 or 8 years old. You know what I mean? And it's that age where kids are supposed to be playing in the rooms, like in the back room playing, and here, boom, 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 and it's Devin, and it's with big guys, little guys, small guys. He's always fighting, and he's not, and he's whichever way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's him and a 12-year-old or it's him and a 7-year-old. You know what I'm saying? He looked at it the same way.
All right. Shout out to Jamario. He said that if Devin beats Loma in his next match, he said, will Devin move up to 140, or will he continue to defend his titles at 135?
Should I talk about that, or should I continue with the story and then come back?
No, yeah. You can continue with the story and come back, because that's one of the questions I was going to ask anyways. But yeah.
Absolutely. You see Erica. Say hi, Erica. Erica,
hi.
This is Erica.
Hey, how you doing, Erica? How you doing?
Erica,
Hola, ¿cómo tú andas?
Yeah.
¿Ella le habla español?
Sí,
Sí. Es un placer conocerlo, señora.
Gracias, igualmente.
Sí, gracias. De nada.
Yeah,
but go ahead, Bill. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so because this is the point that I want to make sure that it's not overshadowed, that what our story is, I hope that it resonates with someone else that has a kid that's being misdescribed. I mean, the kid could be at school today, or the kid can be in juvenile hall. You know what I mean? I almost listened to what the people, you know what I mean, the professionals were saying, and was thinking about taking and letting him get checked out, or you know what I mean, having these conferences and these talks and all this other stuff, when sometimes these kings and queens are talented and they're built for the game. Like boxing found Devin. That very first day we went in there, Derek Harmon said, after sparring, because we come in and I look and I say to the coach and stuff, I said, this is my kid, he wants to move around and see what boxing is like and see if it's the kind of sport for him. There was another kid there who was in there, and he was a kid that grew up doing karate, and he was working on his stand-up game, and he was probably about 9 or 10, and Devin got in there and put hands on him, vicious.
Okay.
On the very first day. So when I say that what he is, he's something special. He's a natural. He was born to do this. And when you talk about what his ultimate goals are, his ultimate goals that he's spoken to me, that he worked so hard because he wants to be mentioned with the greatest of the game, and if not go down as one of the greatest of the game. So that's where you see our relentless pursuit towards these fighters that are, for all intent purposes, like I say, good fighters. You wouldn't go after them if they're not good fighters to show the greatness within you. So with everybody that they pick, you know what I'm saying? Now, segueing into the Lomachenko fight, this is something that ultimately everyone said that we weren't going to face. You hear that Lomachenko says openly that Devin has everything that's his dream, that he wants to have, right? Along the way, whether it be number 10 to number 1, everyone had never gave Devin his shot. And we said, it ain't right. Those that watch boxing said that it wasn't right. So we felt that being in the position that we have everything, to redefine and change the narrative, that we make ourselves available to all the top fighters in the best fight in the world, and whoever that fighter is.
It's amazing you said that, Bill. Let me read this super chat right quick to you. I think this is for you. He said, "Shout out to Bill Haney." This is from the one and only. Say, "Shout out to Bill Haney and all the real full-time dads and fathers out there. Major props."
Absolutely. You know what? And I'm going to. I have a couple of good men, and good women, and we're talking about pooling together and coming with some kind of platform where we can kind of, not only celebrate those that have done it, but also celebrate those that are working every day at it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, they don't, a person and a father and a son, or a father and a daughter will think that because they're being challenged, that they're not going in the right direction.
Okay.
We're here to tell you, you know what I mean, that's what makes you the team is going through it, together, getting through it. And that's whatever narrative that they create. I have a slogan with my kids is that the parent is not going to beat me out in the parking lot supporting me. You got to go in there and beat the kid out inside the classroom. You know what I mean? So as much as they dedicate themselves to be number one and their respective sports and in the classroom, I dedicate myself to be the best parent and be the best support and the best partner to each and one of them. You know what I mean? So that's just my little hang up,
Okay. So shout out to Old Dirty Boxing. He said, "Are there any plans to get Devin a fight in the Middle East? If so, who do you envision would make a great opponent for Devin out there?" I guess he's talking about later on down the line. I don't know. But,
well, I mean, that's a good question because we love and we look forward to going to the Middle East and fighting, whoever that fighter may be. But it's definitely something that we have in the plans. Whether it be the next fight or the near future, that's something that part of the game, I leave up to Devin, and his partners in Top Rank, ESPN, however way that they want to roll it out, the venue and the date and all that other stuff.
Yes, sir. So shout out to Swat Jones. He said, "Had to support Coach Maul." He said, Mr. Haney legacy is bigger than boxing. Man, he also made me strive to go all out on being a dad, honor and respect. Bill. They're showing some love. They're showing some love, Bill. They're showing some love, man. They're showing some love.
That's what means the most. You know what I'm saying? I got two other kids in here in the house with me. You know what I'm saying? And they're inspired and motivated by their brother, but they also need to be supported, educated, and continually encouraged. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday we were at the W Hotel.
Yes, sir.
I mean, not the W, the M Hotel.
Uh-huh.
And someone came up to me and they said, "Man, you did a wonderful job with, Devin and stuff like that." And my son Sean, he was sitting off to the side, and then he said some other pleasantries, and then so I looked back over to Sean and I said, "All right, come on and go." And he was tying his shoe, and then the guy said to Sean, he says, "Hey, you're Sean, you're Devin's brother. You're the tennis player, right?" And my son is 12. He loved it. You know what I mean? So. you know, it's a family. It's a family affair with me. I told you, it's family on top of family on top of family.
So, Bill, what are some of the physical and mental sacrifices that Devin had to make on his road to becoming the undisputed lightweight champion of the world?
The mental sacrifices that he had to make?
Yeah, the physical as well as the mental. I mean,
both physically and mentally. You know, us as parents and us a support team that Devin has, at each level, we try to encourage and put a goal on the table that was bigger than the one that he had just achieved, and him getting the chance to grow up in a city like Las Vegas, where Floyd Mayweather, the biggest athlete, he lives here. So everything that Floyd showed Devin and talked to Devin, and Devin got a chance to see, it made it attainable. We're coming from Oakland. We had Andre Ward, but Devin didn't have the relationship with Andre Ward. So we had the story, we had the relationship, but Floyd and the Mayweathers actually embraced us and gave us the education. And through Floyd constantly talking to the media, constantly talking to young guys, gave us a sense of what a blueprint or a green print was. But ultimately, it has to be Devin's footprint and Devin's legacy. So within Floyd showing us it being attainable, Devin has went out and committed himself to his doing it his way, the Devin Haney way.
So working with Floyd Mayweather, did you know? Because I know you worked with Floyd Senior and Junior. Did that give Devin any kind of mental edge, or did it make him boost his confidence up a little bit more? You said he was very passionate at 7 and 8 years old, but once you made that connection with the Mayweathers, how did that take his confidence to another level from a boxing standpoint, in your opinion?
Well, anytime that you get a chance to go to work, you're working out, and then you come in and see a guy that you're looking up to, and he has all the bells and all the whistles he's not only dedicated to the sport, but he has all of the things the prizes that you get when you are dedicated. He had the story and the glory, and that's what Floyd Mayweather Jr. represents. The dad has the story, you know what I mean, and it's a hard luck story, right? As Devin's dad has the story. It's a hard luck story. But when you talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr., he has the story and he has the glory. So Devin got a chance. Devin got a chance to have a dad and me to say, your dad is going to always be somebody that you're going to look up to. But also, let me take you out. Look out in the world, Dad. It's okay. Look out in the world. You know what I mean? And see that guy that fits your thing. You know what I mean? And through that, okay, I got to win like this. I got to do this. I got to do that. And to be better than the guy that I'm looking at, I need to do this and I need to do that. So
right.
Fortunately, it's like if you're a basketball player and you grow up with LeBron James, or you grow up with Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Because Floyd is TBE, no doubt about it. You talk about Ali. Ali's the greatest. You know what I mean? And now Devin is looking for that. What that Devin is. Devin is not TBE. He's not the greatest. And in time, what that Devin Haney is will come out. You know what I'm saying? So he's 24 years old. He's completely dedicated to the sport. He's not just sitting on the fact that he has all the belts, but he's coming back and doing the fight that everybody wanted to see. The big fight between, that tough Ukrainian, who's a 3-division world champ, 2 Olympic medal having, being equated to by a Hall of Fame promoter, by Arum himself, as being something that he's never signed, a talent that he has never signed before. And he's had some of the best. Somebody in Lomachenko that he equates to Muhammad Ali himself.
Yeah. But he thinks very highly of Lomachenko.
Extremely highly. And a Hall of Fame promoter as in Bob, we have to respect his opinion like we respect everyone else's in the chat. You know what I mean? As just being an opinion. But Lomachenko being number one throughout all the sanctioning bodies, the only other champion being Gervonta Davis, who through the WBA, the WBA Regular Champ. You have the WBA who came out and said that they were and wanted to do only they wanted to do only one belt. They want to do one belt.
That's what the WBA said.
That's what WBA said. When the WBA then talked to Gervonta Davis about making a fight happen with Devin Haney and him, he chose to do something else.
Yeah, you're going right. This is a question I was going to ask you next. Let me get these super chats out the way, Bill.
Hold on.
All right, when you get back.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this super chat right here says, he said, I know you're not overlooking Loma, but are you considering an instant title shot when you do decide to move up?
Man, I listen. I'm not overlooking Loma by any stretch of the imagination, right? What I know Devin to be doing with Bob, with the lawyers, Devin's lawyer, Bob's lawyers, top-ranked lawyers, is negotiating a fight. So I'm saying that it's going to be a hell of a fight. I'm not necessarily predicting what Devin is going to do after, because, you know, Loma is a hell of a guy. He's a hell of a fighter. You know, a lot of people are writing him off when they shouldn't write him off, just because who he is and what he's bringing to the table. And until you beat him, you know, you can say everything, but you know, you have to go in there and beat him.
All right, listen, shout out to Bless 365. She said, Trill Bill in the building, Bay Area. Yeah, she from the Bay too, man. So, you know, you got a lot of love in the Bay. Hey, Bill, let's get into it, man. Now, you were just talking about Tank Davis. I want to ask you a Tank Davis question. Tank Davis is the WBC regular champion, right? Explain to us how the WBC champion works, such as can Tank force a fight with Devin Haney by him having the regular belt and Tank having the super belt? Explain that to me.
Absolutely. You know, you cannot make Tank stay being a regular champion or being an interim champion or being an intercontinental champion. If Mr. Tank Davis wants to be the super champion, that's what Mr. Tank Davis is going to do, along with his team. You know what I mean? They've been a super champion before. So
I said WBC. I meant WBA. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So they know what it means. You know what I mean? And also we know what it means to grab a franchise tag with the WBC and say that we're off limits to Lomachenko, right? To say that we're going to make a different fight or a bigger fight. I think that Devin has done a great job and letting the people know that he's confident enough that he's not choosing those routes to go, but those routes are open for some fighters, right? Because in the rule book, so the guys be moving around the rules and doing what they do. We just kind of let the people know that, you know, Devin is a throwback fighter. And in order to be mentioned with those names of the greats, you got to kind of move like them. And that's why I was going back to saying with the Floyds, the Sugar Ray Leonards, and all those guys. But you can't actually, you know what I mean, work your business and then work somebody else's business. It'll be too hard.
Now, I understand what you said. It's going to be basically saying it's up to Tank to decide whether he want to take that route or not. If he don't take that route, then that means he chose not to do it. And you can't make him do something that he don't want to do. That's going to be something that they have to choose to do. That's pretty much what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Adrian Broner, AB. AOAB. Now.
Good brother. AB, about billions, you know, about time, about money, about all the good shit. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, hold on. Let me get.
No. It's about time that somebody call AB on some of that weird shit he do sometimes. You know what I mean? Because he do some weird shit. Now, we do have to admit, I love him to death. Okay. I love my brother. Listen, I love him to death. We've been knowing. If you look at the pictures and all the shit, I never expected in a million years he was going to come back and tell the people the weird shit he did on that night when he jumped inside the ring. Because when he jumped inside the ring, I jumped inside the ring and said, AB, if you don't get your weird ass up out of here with that, don't start that weird shit like you don't know what's going on. Because sometimes AB be 100% with us, and then sometimes he don't. I love the AB to be with us. That look over and say, AB, you better get him, or AB, that was a shot. You know, that's when you communicate. You know what I'm saying? But when the show is going on and everybody and the money and everybody, We don't need nobody to jump out and do no weird shit. And see, the only people that understand that is the real ones that know when the real shit pop if somebody do some weird shit.
So I'm pretty sure you did see the interview that AB did with Blue Blood Sports TV, right? That's what you're
right. No, it comes back to some more weird shit because he's never said nothing, but then he came back and he said, I jumped in it and Dev was out on his feet and I ain't gonna let no youngster do that. Well, why'd you let it continue? And why would you let people, if you were gambler, why would you lose money and let the guys lose money and everybody else lose money when you done jumped in on some weird shit? That wasn't the bet. That was the bet. And listen, let me tell you, it didn't happen. He jumped in and Dev wasn't hurt. Ain't nothing happened. Dev wasn't wobbled. He wasn't stumbled. He wasn't none of that shit. Because guess what? You would have heard this shit before now. But let me tell you, the story of him and Tank and their relationship, everybody understand that. You know what I mean? Of course you're going to speak up for your little brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Of course that you're going to say something, but you say everything else, but let's fight. We ain't got to keep talking about no fucking sparring and all that shit. I won the money. I reinvest the money. I mean, you want me to turn the camera around and see what I bought with the sparring?
No, you know that's not important.
So that don't make no difference then. That don't We talk about the money. We talk about the biggest fight, but we never talk about the money that I went on sparring because that don't mean shit, huh?
No. The money do mean something because you won it.
So Floyd said he took his money and he flipped it. He quadrupled it. He bought a skyscraper. He bought all the shit. Didn't he say that? He made smart investments, right?
He made smart investments, yeah. Yeah, Floyd say that.
Me too.
All right. Hey, shout out to Jamario. Jamario said when Devin deal is over with Top Rank, he said will Devin continue to take short-term deals to give us the big fights, or do you guys plan on doing something long-term?
I mean,
are you not at liberty to speak on that right now?
We've never done a long-term deal with anything but ourselves.
Okay.
We've never done a long-term deal ever in his whole career.
Shout out to Bless 365. She said, let them know, Trill Bill. Okay.
But let me tell you why. So you don't go in there, people don't go in there harassing them people in the meetings and the executives and bothering them and all that shit and talk about that you don't want to do no long-term deal. If you got a long-term plan that you want them to invest in and you want them to spend some long-term money, then you're going to have a long-term deal. If it's a short-term plan that you have and it coincides with the plan that they have, then you know what I'm saying? By all means, it's going to be good for everybody. But by no means does Devin cut deals that are not good for both parties. What you have in Devin is you have a what we call a clean-cut career, both inside and outside the ring, meaning there are no times wherever you type in and say he's upset about the business that he's done or the business that he's in. He never complains about the promoters. Well, he's a promoter, and that's what you see. So you never hear him complaining about his partner, right? And whether it be Eddie Hearn, whether it be Bob Arum, whether it be Steven Espinosa and Showtime, he's worked with all of them, right? And he never complains because that's what we call a clean-cut career. You know, no lawsuits, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, a lot of times, when you sign those deals and going into it as manager, father, son, trainer, boxer, or whatever, you got to be 100% real with yourself of what you signing and what you expect out of the people and what they're doing, and just keep it 100. You know what I mean? But don't go into a deal, signing a deal, and you wanting to sign to get out. You know, you really knowing, okay, I'm going to get out, or I'm going to restructure this, or I'm going to, you know, as soon as I do this, I'm going to do that. You know, just be 100% honest with yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Explain the dynamics of that, because you have fighters who say they have their own promotional companies, right? But I also heard Floyd Mayweather say, well, it's cool for a fighter to have his own promotional company and have his logo on the back of a banner, but if you're not putting the money up to pay for your own fights. He said, what the hell does that mean? He said something of that sort. I'm paraphrasing. So explain to me without giving up too much information, because I know, I'm not trying to get you to spill your business, but can you word it in a way to where the people in the chat can understand Devin Haney's situation? He has his own promotional company. But he's in partnership with Top Rank, and I don't know who else who could be in partnership with. How does that work out? Does Devin just sit back and don't do anything and let Bob lead, or how does that? How explain that dynamic to me, because I really don't know.
What kind of audience do you have? I mean, because I don't know if they want to hear if they can handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I have to dummy it down? Just say it. You don't have to dumb nothing down. Just say it, man, and break it down. As thoroughly as you possibly can, and we can move on. Okay, it's like anything. It's like a big mall. You know what I mean? And you go to the mall, and everyone has a lot of the same stuff, but you're going to go to the place that you can get the best deal. You know what I mean? The best deal on the best product. Devin, the product that Devin is and what he brings to the table, versus, Tank is a good product, Devin is a good product, Shakur, they're all great products, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Top Rank has helped build the product from the beginning, then they have a different interest and a different say-so, versus if you come to them like us, when we came to them, the product was already built. So the demand and the money that we get is different than the money that someone else would get. So it's kind of hard. You have a promotional company.
I get it.
You're actually the fighter that's signed to the other company, but then you have a promotional company for other fighters, but you're a fighter that's actually signed to somebody. It's a different dynamic with Dev. Dev has a promotional company that he signed to, that he owns. He owns his company. He has other fighters signed to his company, and his company does a deal, a partnership with Top Rank to put on Devin.
Okay, so let me get this super chat out the way. Mr. LDBC, he said, AB called for a stoppage. Give me my money, I won. Okay. Hey, shout out to Mr. LDBC. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Bill, so just for the record, AB's recollection that Devin Haney was out on his feet, meaning got knocked out and just on his feet, out on his feet, and he had to jump in the ring and save Devin from getting killed or whatever, hurt by Tank Davis, because he didn't want the young kid getting hurt. Even though money was on the line. So did Adrian Broner bet any money on this fight without you saying how much, or you're not at liberty to say so?
No.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
No, Adrian Broner didn't bet any money on it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is he didn't jump in there and save Gervonta after Devin got through whipping his ass out and making him stop. You know what I'm saying? The shit is weird. The shit is weird. The shit is so weird to say, and even weirder that for somebody to try to justify that that's cool to do. You came with the guy. You know what I'm saying? You left with the guy. What are you doing, man? If you don't get the fuck out of this ring, what are you doing, brother? You are out of pocket in so many different ways. And people want to say that you're going to go someplace with me, or you're going to go someplace with you, coach, right? I get in the ring, right? You got me in the ring, you put the mouthpiece, you put on the shit, and I'm in there, and I'm getting down, right? And then you're going to let somebody jump in the ring from their team? Are you really going to let that happen, coach?
No. Not when you got money on the line.
You watching your man, right? That's your guy. You brought your guy, right?
Yeah.
You taking care of your guy, right? You look up and somebody that jumped in the ring. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
I mean, that did sound kind of strange to me. I'm like, I wanted to know, did he have any money better than it?
So many levels to say, and these youngsters, they doing too much in folks' business and doing too much. That's why shit is happening. People are saying that that you go with them and you protect it. So if he went with you, what are you protecting Gervonta? Huh? Why would you go ahead and let him knock him on out get the money and go home. Why would you stop it and then let Gervonta just get whipped on until he stops and lose the money?
So you won the bet. It was to clarify the record. They had how many sparring matches did they have? 1 or 2?
The second sparring match was doghouse rules. The first sparring, which was Deb was 16 years old. The first sparring match was when he was 14. I took him up to Upton to Gervonta Davis to see, you know what I mean, that mighty guy up there in Baltimore that's representing that Upton gym that was knocking everybody out, putting in that work that he put in. Everybody else scared to go up there. I took my boy up there. He was 14 years old to show him and for him to meet Mr. Davis because we knew who he was. We wasn't playing. And guess what? He didn't stop him. It wasn't no stopping. They worked, and it was good work. Calvin Ford said it was good work, and that's what it is. Floyd and them started that the
doghouse.
Talking in the car. No, when we were talking in the car, Floyd matched the shit up. He said, "B, what y'all know about Tank?" I mean, what y'all know about Tank? He just said it out loud. And then I said, I know who he is because I took Deb up there and I studied the boxing. And then Floyd said, you want to work with him? Deb responded, yeah. And then I said, for sure, Deb will put in that work with him. I get to the gym and I see everybody coming in and it's we ain't talk about it, don't talk about it. How? Well, why was everybody invited then if we ain't supposed to talk about it?
I don't get that. So
but no, I'm saying if it was just some sparring, regular sparring shit, why are we inviting? And if it's something to help the kids, my kid is 16 years old. So why is everybody coming to watch? Coming to watch what?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting around trying to watch.
I got you.
Now 8 years later, y'all sitting around trying to listen. Huh? Everything that you wanted to do to him and everything that y'all want to know, because guess what? You know about Devin Haney, you didn't know about Tank then. You know about Devin Haney. When Tank was 20 and Devin was 16, the world knew about Devin. They didn't know about Tank. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Because Tank was with Floyd at the time, right? Was he with Floyd?
Signed to Floyd.
Oh,
that was the first time the world had seen them. You know what I mean? Tank and hearing about it, and then Floyd said, "I reached out on his Instagram and did the shit, and then I signed him." The next thing you seen was Tank was in Dubai or wherever they was, and then he was on the Conor McGregor show, and then he was on things that built him into the guy that he is. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd was always telling Deb, you see how we can do it. You see. And then I was on the other side of Deb saying, all right, well, you see what I got for you. You see, hold on. You see, here, this is boom. Now go ahead and talk to Floyd and see if Floyd will say to Deb, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. You feel what I'm saying? And if it was anything weak or fake, the two guys that was up in the front seat of the Rolls Royce, I'm talking about Devin and Floyd, they would have drove off and said, hey, Pop. They would have said, hey, Pop, let me just drop you off for a minute. Me and Floyd gonna keep on going. But I did what any father and any manager and any supposed to do is put the best deal on the table for your client, for your son, for your, you know what I mean, for your fighter or whatever. And I continue to put the biggest and the best deals and the best situations on the table for my son. And that's what I pride myself at being able to do. And I hope any other father or mother, you see what I'm saying? Because I don't touch a dime. He sees everything. I'm transparent with all the business. You see what I'm saying? So how is somebody going to top that?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, Mr. Calderon, shout out to Mr. Calderon. He said, Bill, quick question. Outside of Dev, who was the second best at 135?
Shit, man. I think they're all really good fighters. They all got some stuff, you know what I mean? Of course, I have a certain biasness because I have relationships with fighters that I don't have with the other fighters. So, you know what I mean? Let me just reserve my opinion to just say that we got some good fighters. A couple good fighters is left at 135 pounds.
Okay. Shout out to Bless 365. She from the Bay. She said, release the footage out of PC, Haney time. Yeah, who got that footage, man, of that sparring? Because you keep talking about sparring, and I remember seeing Blue Blood Sports TV on the Rise podcast. I think that's what sparked it back up. And then Blue ended up getting Adrian Broner on his podcast, and then Adrian Broner gave his recollection of it. Now, you're refuting what HB is saying, and, you know, you said you walked away with the money, so apparently you won, and Devin was 16, and Tank was...
Yeah, but I wasn't the only one. Type in Nate Jones. He won, too. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a few people that won money. You know what I'm saying? Because once you know the Ohio guys, that's what Broner, that's all he talk about. That's why I told him, I said, Broner, well, bet something, bet you and Devin. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, well, I got something up, I got something I'm gonna do and all that. Yeah, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to you. It's like, nah, yeah, whatever, nigga.
Hey, Bill, why?
I'm gonna give him that same energy that he would when he pull out that bank and he about to shoot dice, and somebody say they shoot dice, and they say to him, I got another dice game I'm gonna be going to next week, so I don't want to gamble right now. Knock it off, nigga. You scatter us.
Shout out to Southpaw dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He say just for going to Pennsylvania Avenue in Upton, Bill. He said you and Dev are a real one. And Baltimore, we heard Dev got busy. Much respect, Trill Bill. Okay.
Oh man, listen, Baltimore ain't nothing to play with. You dig what I'm saying? I was always a fan of Baltimore. And listen, when you go out there, if you've seen The Wire, all the stuff look just like that. Baltimore remind me a lot like Oakland. I got some good dudes, some good men that I respect. You know what I'm saying, from Baltimore. So that's that I find near and dear to us.
Shout out to Fotex with a super chat, man. You got to send $5 for a question, but he said have Devin ever sparred Terence Crawford?
Huh?
Have Devin ever sparred with Terence Crawford before?
Nope. Only thing that they've ever did is size each other up on champ size. Man. No, they got weight classes for a reason. Nigga, ain't nobody messing with Terence Crawford. Don't misquote me on that. Ain't nobody messing with. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us, Devin. Right. We're not messing with Terence. Listen, have a good night on when is Terence fight?
December the 10th. I'll be at that fight.
Yeah, be there. Yeah, shout out to Terence and what he gonna do on December the 10th. I mean, that nigga, listen, excuse me, Nick, that champion, that number one pound for pound, number 1A, number 1B, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no joke, man. Inside and outside the ring. And you get to popping slick, he gonna pull up on you like a tarantula and grab you and twist you all up and shit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, he's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dragon Bean. He said, question to Bill. He said, do you think Ryan will finally stop running from Devin and make the fight at 140 if he can get by Tank?
It's not that Ryan is busy doing commercials. He got one up with Gatorade. He got another one up with Powerade. He got Nutrafix. He got just a bunch of shit that he's doing. So if he doesn't go to fight with Tank, you can best believe it was because he was doing a commercial.
What do you why Dev never signed with Mayweather Promotions?
I think out of Floyd teaching us, you know what I'm saying? Teaching us and not beating us, you know what I'm saying? And he always give you that opportunity. He said, okay, watch me, follow me, look at what I do, and then you choose what you want to do. And the road of trailblazing your own path is always the hardest one, but it's the one that you have the story and ultimately you have a chance to get the glory. I got a story. I didn't get the glory. You know what I'm saying? Going through the shit that I went through. So Devin now has the story and he's in the process and he's in a pursuit for the glory. And it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? It is not easy. It is not easy to choose that path where you can get up under Floyd and just ride and let him do it and let him promote it and cater to his fans. But if you actually go out and build your own fan base from scratch, you're not buying no followers, you're not doing none of that shit. That's actually a harder path, but it's a path that we think that is ultimately respected more.
Mm-hmm. Has the Lomachenko fight been finalized yet? If so, would you let us know when do you expect that the fans will get an announcement?
You know, like I said, I wouldn't, you know, even if I had, if it was finalized and I could, you know, I knew that at the date, I wouldn't at this time, or nor have I ever been at liberty to make the announcement. I always leave that to Dev, and then Dev and his partners to make the official announcement. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is that they are negotiating, and according to Bob and everyone, and Devin as well, is an announcement should be coming down soon.
Yeah, shout out to Black Ice. He said, what's the Kid Austin situation?
Who is that?
Kid Austin.
I don't remember him.
Okay. Edie, shout out to Edie. He said if Devin wants to petition, he said if Davis wants Devin, petition the WBA and be quiet. Okay. All right. Bill, Devin looked like a skeleton in his last weigh-in when he fought. You know, if you look at the actual, because I went live that day, and I saw his face.
Coach, you went hard body. Yes. And the best way that we can do is we can smile and say that, I mean, this kid is amazing, and how much his dedication is to the sport of boxing. You know, a person to go to that dark place, you know, for undisputed, not once but twice, and then to be second guessed, and he put the world on his shoulders to go down there in New York between after a Jermaine Ortiz and Lomachenko fight to get in the ring and to call out that tough Ukrainian, you know, after you just, you know, had such a journey and such a feat down there in Australia, man. I listen, I smile, man. I smile because ultimately I'm so proud of him, man. You know, the effort and the work that it takes to go there. I can't say, listen, I don't know, bro. I mean, if it comes down to cutting all the way down, I mean, can we say that me and you would do it? I know the job that I do and I love it. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I give him so much to Grams. You know, that's always been my Superman. You know what I mean? Since he's been a little kid, I always called him Superman. And you know, the way that he's taken not only just himself and his friends and his people, but what he's done for our family, and just, you know what I mean, put us all on his back, and just, you know what I mean, and makes it look easy. So to answer your question, yeah, I told Dev when the Cambosos fight, I said, man, I'm gonna go with you, man. I said, but man, you got to trust me. If I'm saying to you that we can't do it, then Dev, no matter what the people, no matter what money, are you gonna trust me? And then I'm saying, he looked me dead in the eye. He said, Pop, it's in your hands. You know what I'm saying, right? And you know, based on the way that the narratives be created, based on the way the money be put up, and shit like that, you know, I take all that into consideration. I take how he's feeling, and then ultimately I try to look from a health standpoint. Is he going to be healthy? Is this good to do for him long term, and all these other things? You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough decision.
Yeah, I understand that, because that's why I was going to ask you. How long do you plan on seeing him fighting at 135? If he makes the Lomachenko fight, if that fight was to go down, you know, how long did you expect it? But you just pretty much answered the question for me.
You know what though? The thing is so crazy is we say it, and then going down, cutting down, and all the shit, we say it, and then he comes out and puts on a hell of a performance like he did. You know what I'm saying? So then you start as a team. You say, okay, listen. Great performance and all that, right? But going through it, when you're going through it to get on that scale, you know, you're saying to yourself, hey, this might be the last time. You know what I mean? And then he goes out and performs the way that he does, and then we entertain another time, if that makes sense, Coach.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. Fotex said, Bill, what's your opinion on Keshawn Davis?
Oh, great young fighter. You know what I'm saying? He got all the fire inside and outside the ring. You know what I mean? Something that you want, you know, you want in the lightweight and then junior welterweight division. You know what I mean? You know, you can expect some, you know, some good things coming from him, and you know, his camp is dedicated, and yeah.
Hey, so Bill, hold on, I got a couple of more super chats, and I want to get to my questions. Bless 365 say, Bill, has Devin ever sparred Kid Austin?
Kid Austin. Kid Austin. I don't know. That name sounds familiar. I don't know. I don't have too much time on the show to dig way back. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you got your answer, sis. Shout out to Drummond for Life for dropping that quote of a dog.
Is that guy doing anything right now in boxing? How's he doing? Is he okay?
Yeah, he got some fights coming up. He has some fights coming up in January, and I think somewhere in April.
Good for him. I wish him well. Yeah. Nothing but the best.
Shout out to Drummond for Life. He said, Bill, light up the building with your pride, with your pride for your family. He said, nobody ever take that from you. He said, greatness, I admire that as a father. Shout out to Drummond for Life, man. Salute to you, fam.
Family.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay, so coach, so all that's over with. Coach is about to get down to the hard questions that everybody wants. All you guys is waiting for. We was just warming up. Come on with it, coach.
Yeah, I'm trying to come with it because I'm trying to get the super chats and all that stuff there. Now, is there any beef with you? Is there any beef with Dev and Tank Davis? Is there any beef that you know of?
Oh no, not that I know of. I know that they have a competitive spirit. One that, like I say, that comes out of that Baltimore. You know, one that comes right out of that Bay Area. You know what I mean? And when you put a Bay Area guy and a Baltimore guy, you know what I'm saying, and you pit them up against each other, that you're gonna have a competitive spirit. But in the end, I think that both of them have a respect for each other and what they've done. You know what I mean? Thus far, you know. Do you see yourself working with not the pivot, but do you see yourself working with Eddie Hearn anywhere in the future? Or you're not at liberty to speak on that right now? Well, no. The thing about it is, am I getting a glare on this?
No, you're good. You're good.
So the thing about that is that my job is to work with everybody and not rule out anything that's going to derail Devin's quest to be one of the greatest ever to ever put on a pair of gloves. My job is not to be emotional about it and to pick this person, that person. I don't cut no side deals. You can't pay me. You can't give me nothing that's going to make me negotiate against Devin's legacy, you know, and his wishes. So, you know, to answer your question, like I'm saying, is that's not my job to pick. The people ain't never did nothing wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? That would be upon Devin. You see what I'm saying? They let me in the room because of Devin, and they kicked me out the room because of Devin.
Because of Devin, yeah. Because of Devin, yeah. I get it. You moving up to 140, man. Do you plan on facing Teofimo Lopez when Devin moves up there?
Hey man, listen. That's an ultimate grudge match that between those two guys, I don't want them bumping into each other before the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them bumping into each other around Las Vegas because ultimately what they have and what they've continued to have has been a grudge match that needs to be decided in the ring.
So this a real beef.
Well, listen, and that's what I was looking to talk to his dad. I was like, Pop, like, come on, man, you know, what part in this are you playing? You know, are you trying to make this happen, or are you just going around town, you know, fat mouthing about my son in a way that I'm not about you? You know, I've never said that Teofimo is not what they think he is. I want to treat him and think that he is who he says he is. And I ultimately show that Devin is something that's special. All these fighters can be great fighters. I say that it's something special about a 24-year-old kid who has all the belts, right? And you don't necessarily have nobody that's clamoring and breathing and that's the mandatory to him. And that's no shade or no shout to any of the fighters, because everybody get ready and they move at their position, at the way that they move, and for whatever reason that they move. We just know the way that we move is that, you know, we've been calling out, you know, the champions, you know, since we felt that he was ready to make that move. And we feel that a lot of times when we were ready to make the move and ready and it was lined up, they had excuse after excuse after excuse for us. And for those reasons, we feel for anybody that's coming up behind us that's in the same position we're in. And that could be any division, heavyweight division, middleweight, whatever, lightweight, you know what I'm saying? It's just a frustrating position. I mean, you know, you have fighters that start questioning whether or not they doing the right thing. And here they done been fighting, you know what I mean, since they've been 8, 9 years old, and they're just not getting that right fight, or they're just not getting that right paycheck, right? You know, I hope that they stay down. I hope that they don't fold. You know what I mean? And know that, you know what I mean, it's possible.
Speaking of Teofimo Lopez, hold on, let me get the super chat out of the way. He said, "Shout out to coach and the best trash talking boxing trill, Bill." Salute to you, fam.
Hey, listen, it's a lot of trash talkers in boxing.
Yeah. We talk. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Teofimo, there's a lot of Teofimo fans upset with you, and you know where I'm going. If you don't know this, where I'm going at with this, they saw you on the podcast with a Trill. I think it was Trill Boxing. They saw you in the podcast. And there was a co-host on there that said some very unfavorable things about Teofimo's kids. I've been getting this, people like, you better ask Bill Haney this, better ask him this. And some people took it as though you was co-signing some of the things that, you know, that was said about Teofimo's kids. How do you feel about that? Did you condone that in any way, form, or fashion?
Well, you know, you guys know my energy. You know, I don't mess with any kids. Mm-hmm. I understand and I support every Black woman's energy and their cry out, you know, for what they believe has been the Black man's plight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to jump out and leave a Black woman that's screaming that for one, that Devin is being treated wrong, that Bill Haney is being treated wrong, Devin Haney Promotions is being treated wrong. And then she's screaming out, and then everybody wants to say that she's crazy. You know, I wasn't on the phone when the comments, I haven't looked back to look at the video. I don't really look back at the videos and stuff that I'm on, you know, just because I don't like to do it. And just like what you know with me and you, I like everything to be spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I don't like to look back and look at the comments and then develop an opinion based on we being the minority. So I think in this situation, based on me hearing it, you know, and you say the people and all that, right? Mm-hmm. First, you got to actually talk to this woman. She is one of the most beautiful women and beautiful persons that you would ever want to meet. You know what I mean? And she has a whole lot of passion for this sport and a whole lot of passion involved in life. And I hope that everybody can just understand that. And I don't take up for nobody, or I'm not trying to condone anything, but I know that you know, my sister, she speaks for herself, and she's very articulate, and she knows how to get her point across and to convey her passion. And I think people might want to listen and tune into her. You know what I mean? And see what she's coming from with that. You know, but to answer your question, as far as the baby go, I wasn't on the thing when the comment was made.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but people have been telling me about it. Some people have been telling me about it, but I said I ask you, Bill. Now this something I want to ask you. This is my question. You're a multimillionaire. Right? You can afford the lifestyle.
You said hypothetically.
Okay, hypothetically. Okay. Hypothetically, sources say, according to reports, you are a multimillionaire that can afford the lifestyle most people will never reach in life, right? Is there a reason why you do interviews with YouTube channels that disrespect you? Well, I'm gonna give an example. Bitch ass nigga. Shut your bitch ass up. Yeah, blah that squad. Like I'm not calling you that, but I'm just saying.
No. But so what I don't want to do is I don't want to talk about those channels. Let's, you know, that do say it. I know the power that we do, and I know what zakat is. I know them screaming out. You know what I mean? They need to be validated, right? And sometimes their opinion and how they feel, right? Because they feel about their favorite fighter or whatever. I say, come on, let's rock, man. Come on, get all that stuff off, because you got a confident man that's 100% man and confident in everything that I do and what and who I am. You know what I mean? So a lot of promoters and managers, they run from the fact that it's going to be a couple trolls on here that's going to say this and that and all that. So they say that they don't want to be bothered by it. You know what I mean? I say, you know, if anybody can stand it, you know what I mean, Bill Haney can't. You feel me?
But why? But why? Because on the outside looking in, it seems like that you like the drama. It seems like you like the drama on the outside looking in on these YouTube streets. On these YouTube streets,
Yeah.
you know, is there a reason for that? Like why? Why subject yourself to that?
It's like when you actually, you know, you got to get a chance to know a person, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you pass a judgment on a person, and then the person come on and do an interview with you, and you think different. You know what I mean? But the audience doesn't. You know what I mean? You have a certain audience with the YouTube guys, right? That they have to push certain narratives because their audience caters to them because they do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
And if Bill Haney can validate that they're not just screaming in the wind and nobody is hearing, right? So I come on and I say, nigga, we hear you. You know what I'm saying? We hear you with all that old bullshit.
So what's the biggest misconception that people may have of Bill Haney, in your opinion?
That, you know, I don't know if it's the misconception. I just hope that, you know, people understand that I'm just a man that I'm trying every day, you know, to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no drama. I love boxing, right? You know, if we could talk about how good Devin is, I'd talk about that all day, every day. I would never talk about no drama. One thing that you hear from Bill Haney is that I defend Devin from the bullshit because a lot of times, you know what I mean, I'm an OG, you know? So, you know, I mean, I got time. You know what I mean? I got time. My life is not extremely complicated that it's not dedicated to my kids and my job, you know? So I'm here for it. You won't see me at the club necessarily popping bottles with that young model. You see what I'm saying? Trying to do something that, you know, has my boat is sailed. You know what I mean? With that, you know, you might hear stories of what I used to do, but right now I'm on your ass if you say the wrong thing about Devin Haney. And
They call you the candy man. They say, man, anytime somebody saying something about Devin Haney that Bill don't like, he come out of nowhere and just pop up. Is that true? Sources say.
Yeah, well, money ain't gonna change that for me because, you know, I love my job, I love my responsibility, what I got to do. So no matter what the money is, you know what I'm saying? That to me, it affords an opportunity for me to reinvest in my younger kids. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about what is it going to take for a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, you know, to ultimately back them, finance it, you know what I mean, be the dad that you're supposed to be or that you would like to be. I don't have enough money, brother. I'm working harder than a one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest.
That's old school right there. Hey, Bill, what's the before I get to these super chats, what's the biggest misconception of Devin Haney, your son? Is he a coward? Is he ducking anybody? Is he a cap artist? Is he really just all talk? He's not about that action. He's not going to do anything. What's the biggest misconception?
The biggest misconception is the same thing that you think about Floyd is that they just little dudes and you can just do whatever that you want to do until you see them in real life. You know what I mean? So most of the time, people just like Tank and all the rest of you, Shakur and all that, they're really fighters. Ain't nothing punk about them at all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, you know, sweet or nice or none of that. He's a gentleman. That's what he is. And anytime you confuse a gentleman, you might run into a gangster. You see what I'm saying? And because everybody got a little bit in them, you know, and when you talk about doing things to protect your family, your career, your livelihood, nothing says that we need to play fair, you know. And I think that that's the misconception with Dev is that it's an easy out. It's not an easy out.
He's out.
He's not easy out. Inside
he's pillow fist. So you can just walk in there and just do what you want to do to him.
No, what I'm saying is not inside the ring or outside the ring. Ain't nothing easy about champ. Nothing. And it'd be a bunch of beer drinking, you know, booze drinking, just couch potatoes, right? Just laying around talking shit about a real calculated businessman, athlete, gentleman like Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? That's 100% focused on his game. And I think that that's an example because I'm trying to get Sean to follow the same thing, right? Trying to get Sean to see it and like I said, be inspired in his lane, and to see how Devin is dedicated, see how he worked, right? And I would think that a lot of times when these dudes is yelling at the top of their lungs and doing all the shit instead of taking out time, because the same time that you could be yelling at the top of your lungs is the same time you could be saying to your daughter, your son, take a look at these particular guys. Look what they did to do that. Look how dedicated they are. Look how, you know what I mean? And through that, it might work out for you versus coming with the other shit that they do. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't nothing but just bull. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Neighborhood ain't nothing but bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Oh, man, that Corey, man, you ain't, man, come on, man. Oh, no, you ain't. Oh, man, please.
Yeah, it just talk.
Watch. You ain't gonna have it. I'm telling you, as soon as the pandemic over with, you ain't gonna have it no more. You just ain't gonna have it, huh? Oh, man, them rims. You ain't got no rims on it, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always coming from the neighborhood. It's always something. So that part of it don't mean nothing, right? What people are saying, right? The blueprint that you have set out to be one of the greats, and that's what he has, is that blueprint. And he follows it to a T, both inside and outside the ring.
Do you, you know, and this is a serious question, because, you know, on YouTube and even on Twitter and stuff like that, you hear a lot of the fans in the chat, they're promoters, they're accountants, they're financial advisors, they're trainers. Like in the chat, you know, you've been in several different platforms and different chats, and you know, you hear people that they talk contracts. None of them never seen a boxing contract before. Do you take financial advice from YouTubers or people in chats on different YouTube panels and stuff like that? Do you take financial advice from them? Do you take boxing advice from them on business moves, how you should move? What say you?
No, hell no. Hell no, I don't take advice. Financial, boxing, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy their opinion, right? And I listen to the opinion, but ultimately I can't take an opinion from someone if I don't know them and it's not backed up behind this and this and this and this and this. You know what I mean? Like Roy Jones could say something right now. He can jump in the chat and he say something and I'm gonna listen. Nonito Daenerys and his family, him and Rachel, they jump in there. I'm gonna listen, because I know them personally and I know that they've been where we are. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy, you know, because I'll get scattered around, you know, if I start listening, well, this guy and that makes sense, and this guy and that, and then, you know, and then Devin say, hey, Pop, you listening to them guys in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come up with that shit. You dig?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna hire that guy in the chat. What's his name that always, you know what I'm saying? No, you're not. Listen, save your advice, because you're not taking my job. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get credit for it. Keep it and give it to your favorite fighter. And if you love me, say it. I love you back, and I will listen and all the other stuff. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I hope Allah continues to, you know what I mean, to put it on my mind to do the thing that I'm happy about. You know what I'm saying? Like being happy with your decision, you know, because if I look at it and I say, well, Coach Malachi, you know, I should have listened to Coach Malachi. No, you should be happy with the decision you make off the intel that you were given. So I'll get the intel will come in, and then ultimately I'm making the decision. So could you say that something in the chat and the people play a factor in my, you know, subconsciously in my decisions? You know, maybe so.
Yeah.
I know Devin listens to who the people like and who the people want to see him fight and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So they play a factor in who the best fighter is, what we should do. But ultimately, when weighing out the business of it, you have to make the final business decision on stuff that sometimes the people in the chat aren't seeing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the people in the chat haven't went through. You know what I'm saying? So it might be their first rodeo, you know? And with your first rodeo, you might think that. But by it being our first rodeo, and we can talk to the Daenerys or talk to Roy Jones or, you know what I mean, talk to the Mayweathers or so on and so forth. So we use a little bit of different process of elimination.
All right. Will, shout out to Will for that dropping the half a dub. He says not just Teofimo fans. He said, I don't care if it's black, white, yellow, or mixed or whatever. That was wrong. I would feel the same way if it was your grandchild being talked about. Do better, Bill. Yeah, he's talking about the podcast he was on.
Well, that's another one of those fans that want to, talk crazy to Bill. You know what I mean? And Bill ain't said shit. You know what I mean? I ain't said nothing. So stop with the super chat. Stop with the suggestions. You ain't heard Bill say nothing about nobody's grandkids, about nobody's little babies, or none of that. You know what I mean?
Shout out the WCS for dropping that half a dub on your boy. He said, with that being said, he said, let's place a bet on Teofimo versus Devin. You win $5,000 lunch money, and I win you stop capping. He's saying I win you stopping capping for the LDBC. I said I warned you about skid marks and warning you about them too. You know World Comeback Sports.
No, World. Shout out to him. He's trying to do the best he can. He started a channel as well. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to him. Him do his thing, and everybody do their thing, and not go against each other based on a person's experiences, and their plights are different, bro. Why a person is saying something. I got an example. It's like telling a guy from Harvard, you know what I'm saying, he should be doing the same thing as a guy, that's a Crip, or a Crip should be doing the same thing. Dog, these people everyone has different experiences, different shit. And I know and I understand the LDBC and what they're doing and what they're saying. But I also understand what you're saying, brother. You know what I'm saying? I understand what WCS is saying. You know what I mean? And you don't always have to agree with somebody, but you can also understand that they can have an opinion on things. And we don't need to censorship on our opinions. You know what I mean? And on what we like and what we feel. That's not what we should be doing. We shouldn't be censorizing you guys as a media. For one, they didn't want to give, whether it be the LDBC, whether it be WCS, whether it be the new media, Dante, they didn't even want to give everyone credit that they were key components in this sport. You see what I'm saying?
Right. They didn't acknowledge us.
Right. Devin and us were the first ones to acknowledge not just the great job the LDBC is doing, but the great job that everybody in the YTBC is doing. Yeah. YTBC is doing. You see what I'm saying?
Now this my thing. This is my position, and I'm not here to talk about no other channels, to be honest with you. But I understand that I have people who I'm all right with. All of them don't get along, but I don't hold them accountable to. Okay, I have moderators that are part of the LDBC that rock with them, but they my moderators. I'm not judging them based on they're with a group of people who I may not rock with. I don't rock with those guys. They don't rock with me, but I'm not going to judge them based on that. I treat everybody how they treat me. However anyone else feels, that's how you feel. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to get caught up in another man or woman's emotions. I deal with people how they treat me. You get what I'm saying? And I just hope that other people treat me the exact same way. That's where I'm at with myself personally. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I've only experienced good. You know what I'm saying? I've only experienced good. What they do and how they highlight a fighter's, you know what I mean? Like they highlight a fighter's accomplishments. Highlight a fighter's future fight. Like this energy and you guys got to understand this, man. Y'all got to stop with the stuff at the fighters who the fighters are doing. Listen, when WCS does something free for Devin Haney, go and make a video and then wait to get the money and do all this shit, right? You don't have to do that. Nobody has to do that. We appreciate everybody, the good videos or the bad videos, because you don't have to do it. You see what I'm saying? So you come back to us and ask us, well, what will we, or why will we? Of course, we're going to support. And listen, you have us go to channels that are my enemy channels. You see what I'm saying? Because even when you can find something good in the enemy, and it's called consistency. And if a guy want to consistently be my enemy, then I'm going to consistently give you that wreck. And from time to time, I'm going to come over there and roast the shit out of you. And ain't nobody going to stop me from doing it. because I don't have no problem articulating the position that Devin Haney Promotions is in and Devin Haney as the fighter. But I guarantee you, though, if you didn't have Devin Haney, you might not be going the places I go any motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you didn't have Devin Haney, if you got Devin Haney, you're going to go everywhere talking a lot of shit. You're going to go to the barbershop, the car wash, the mall. You're going to go to all the places, and you're going to be talking shit. And guess what? Oh, grandma's still hungry. I got to take grandma the food. Huh? Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. And you,
Yeah, I see your son back there. I see your son. Yeah. Tell him I say salam alaikum. Yes, sir. Hey, Bill. Mr. LDBC dropped the quarter of a dub.
Ask them, are they at the same place? Are they at the same hospital? Ask her, can she do Uber Eats? See if they can Uber Eats there. Something. Just 1 second. No, I'm about to go. I promise you.
Yeah. Let me get these super chats out of the way. He said Devin Haney is undisputed at 23 years old. Do you feel that he gets the respect that he deserves, and does Loma win in best at 135 debate?
Dude, does Loma win in the best at the end of the best at 130? I understand it.
I don't understand that part neither. But do you feel that Devin Haney get the respect that he deserves?
Well, the respect in the history book is two different things. He went in the history book, so I think that they're learning.
I got what he's saying. He said, and does a Loma win in the best of 135 debate? Meaning, if Loma beats Devin Haney, does that end who's the best at 135?
No, it's not about just being the best. It's what did you do when you became the best. So Devin is the best now, but it's what is he doing while you're the best? When you got the crowns, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And I think that he's doing what the all-time greats would do. He's continuing to cement himself in the history books.
All right, shout out to Candy Slim. He said, respect, Bill, and everything that you're doing with your children and the time that you give to the fans. Some sensitive sissies trying to slander you. He said, when nothing was said about a baby, y'all deserve all of the blessings you get. Allah Kareem. Yeah, I didn't hear it, so I don't know what was said. I didn't hear it.
I like that picture over there too. That looked like Frank Ward or somebody out of Oakland. That picture over there in the corner. Got that hat cocked on there like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let me make sure I get this other one out the way. Shout out to Chickarelli, man. He's out there. He's out on the West Coast with you, Bill, for dropping that dub, man. He said, always appreciate your no bull opinion, Bill. He said, can't wait to see Devin fight again. He's earned his credibility and respect. All right, shout out to Chickarelli, man. So do you feel that the state of boxing right now, 135-pound division, Devin Haney is an undisputed champion? You do a lot of politicking. I tell people, I look at Bill as the politician. What I mean by that is you have the gift of gab. You have the gift of gab. You understand how to play this game very well. When I say game, I mean the media, the business of boxing, you're moving your son's career.
Coach, I got the best fighter. He makes the job easy. I come out and have fun. I got the best fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. He makes the job look easy and have fun. He's always maintained that he wanted to continually to get better and get better. He wanted better and stiffer competition ever since he's come in the game. And how hard is that? You got one win, we need somebody better. You got another one, we need somebody better. It got to that he got all the belts and he still continues to want to challenge himself.
Do you look at all publicity as good publicity?
Unfortunately, I haven't grown in the game like that yet. You see what I'm saying? Because I still got kids and they listen. So don't do me like that, man. Please, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying that as it relates to Devin. Like you said, because you were saying that.
But he's my son. You know what I'm saying? He's my son, and not he's just a fighter too. So if I say, oh yeah, all publicity is good, just whatever you say about Devin, no, all publicity is not good, but that's why I stay on their ass. If they say something, that's why I'm so passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just sit around and say, oh, okay, since they're talking about that's good too. No, I'm just saying. Huh? Oh, okay. No.
You said
No. I got like 10 minutes. I like 10 minutes.
No, give him 10 minutes.
I want to go get a watch for it anyway.
I'm gonna get you out of here, Bill, because you already told me. I know what's going on. I'm gonna get you out of here. Yeah. So, how do you feel about the actual
down there? Coming down there. How do I feel about what? Tell me what.
Yeah, I'm saying fighters. Do you feel that fighters? You know, a lot of these fighters, man, they don't have any personality, no swag. They don't know how to talk in front of the camera. A lot of these fighters. Do you feel that fighters should be more? Especially in the social media age, like yourself, you're out in the public, you're out talking to different social media platforms. Do you feel that fighters need some type of go to speech therapy classes, know how to talk in front of the camera when they do speak, and should they make themselves more openly available to their fan base, just even via social media, especially in this social media era right now today? What say you about that?
No, just work really hard at your craft. You know what I'm saying? Believe in yourself, and when it comes time, the words are going to fall right in place, but the thing is like I said, is to get the best in your craft and to be confident in that. And then once that is, I don't care what you go in there and say to them people inside the meeting, what you say on TV, what you say anything. We always say is they say everything, let's fight. So you can't learn how to talk better than them. They talking bullshit. You learn how to fight and let everything else fall into place. I mean, and I don't mean just learn, like Floyd say, perfect your craft. Just keep continuing perfecting your craft. And that could be on both sides, both inside and outside the ring. You see what I mean? So yeah.
So what advice would you give a fighter who's trying to build his fan base right now, who doesn't like to talk? He's really good at boxing in the ring, but casuals don't know who he is. You have people in the media that say, "Oh, this fighter's boring. He doesn't talk. He doesn't know how to sell. He doesn't know how to do this and that."
Let me ask you a question then. Is Devin one of the hardest working guys in boxing?
Yeah, hands down. Yeah, hands down. Yeah.
Oh, hands down, right? Hands down. How the fuck are you gonna say that out your mouth? You got to show the people that. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? So that don't take nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if they really try and work on the part that you're good at, right? If you're the hard and it doesn't take, you don't need to talk. Work, show the people your work. Show them. And the results is going to speak for itself. They're going to ask you, well, listen, you work so hard. What do you think, what makes you work so hard, right? Right? Show your work, right? Why are you so successful? Is it because you work so hard? Show your work.
Right. So I get the hard work aspect of it, but my position, and I get exactly where you're coming from. You show your work, right? But in order to show that you're the best, you know what I mean? You got to get in there and fight the fights that I think that gives you the reward of your work, because you put the work in order in the training and stuff like that.
No, that's not true. The reason why you deserve to fight is because you put in the work to get the fight. And if the world have seen you put in the work to get it, and they've seen how you train, they see the sacrifices that you make, they see the growth that you've done from only saying hello on the thing, cutting on the live and saying, hey, what's up, to hello, to my fans, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, they want to be a part of the growth. They don't want you just to be right there. If they wanted that, then you can follow Joshua, you follow Deontay, you can follow guys that have already perfected it. But what people are looking for is the next. Who is the next? And being able to want to grow with you. So you're not going to do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong about it.
I get what you're saying, but how does a fighter get his fans to grow with him if they don't give themselves give their fan base access to them?
I would show Devin his fights. I went to Mexico. We showed the fights. We also showed the sparring. You know what I'm saying? We showed him working out. We showed him doing the pads with Floyd Senior. We showed every aspect of it. Then we came back and showed things that he liked that are called lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And Devin, Devin doesn't have any problem taking over that.
Yeah, I see he wearing $1 million worth of jewelry, man. Sources say. Sources say he's wearing a lot of jewelry now. So
sources. So you know what I mean? I just encourage everyone to say, relax, have fun, and you ain't doing nothing wrong by getting behind the fighter, and the fighter ain't doing nothing wrong by showing their whatever side. Sometimes you know, you have to come on and say, you know, man, I'm tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the people is with you, but they see that you're saying, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that, and they're saying to you, how could you be? You're not getting the fights. You got to come on and let them feel you and say, man, I'm tired of this shit. You know, let be relatable, right? And once that you're relatable, right, the people can grow with you. But if you're scared to show your vulnerability, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is something that's, you know, a vulnerable spot for me, as well as a vulnerable spot for Dev, is that we get on here and everyone asks us questions that aren't rehearsed. You know what I mean? But I think that that'll resonate with people more than, you know, the strategic marketing gimmicky kind of rise to the top.
All right, Bill, I know you have to go. Let me go ahead and get the super chat out of the way for you. Shout out to the Martin for dropping that quote of a dub. He says that as a deep East Oakland native, I want to thank Bill and Devin for making the town proud. Okay.
Hey, and that's that, you know, shout out to that deep East, right? So we got the Bay, then you got Oakland, then you got East Oakland, West Oakland, then you got East Oakland, and then you got deep East Oakland, right? And that's I'm from deep East Oakland. So, you know, and that's what we always say is I'm not from the Bay. And then they say, you from Oakland? I say, I'm not from Oakland. I'm from deep East Oakland. So shout out to the brother that you know, it's just something that, you know, that we as natives we do.
Before you go, Bill, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans, your supporters, your haters, and your detractors?
No, I mean, you know, the show, I'm just thankful, you know what I mean? You let me come on the show. You know, I know a lot of times between all you guys, you know what I'm saying? You guys are doing a wonderful job. And if I can encourage the content creators, you know, to come together and work together and not even work together, but because everyone has this thing about them. They bring something that's unique. Some or political, some or lifestyle, some or, you know, box rec, some or, you know what I mean, championship, some or, you know what I mean? And I see the beauty in everybody. And some are distractors and haters. And without them, I can never show them how great we are. You dig what I'm saying? So,
Man, Bill, thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, I know you have to go. I know you pressed for time. I spoke with you before the show. Thank you so much, Bill, for taking the time out. Is there anything else, any parting words you want to leave us with?
Did we miss anybody? Did we miss anything?
Nah, I don't think we missed it. Oh, shout out to my brother Blood Boxing. He said, Bill, you're a stand-up brother.
But nobody that's going to. No, what I'm saying is I appreciate everybody. Thank you, everybody that's sending something. If I miss y'all or whatever, I appreciate y'all. Y'all everywhere that I am, and you constantly showing me some support. What I was kind of like coming to talk to the guys and bring some clarity to the guys that, like this gentleman or whatever. I don't know, I just see the cap at the end, but that might ambush Coach Malachi after I leave the thing. So Bill Tank's team sending Tank's team sending contract after him, saying he'll fight Devin next after his Cambosos fight, or was it just cap? No, we haven't received any contracts from any of them. And you know, having a contract, before you get a contract, we've all taught everybody that you need to come to terms with what that contract is going to represent. So just talking and being upfront to the people that, you know, we respect this team or respect that team, and we're going to do everything that we can when the times are right to make the fights happen to the people is the narrative that I want to make sure that we stand behind, and not the narrative that here I come, Sean. Not the narrative that we can't do it, baby.
All right, I know you got to go. So if you are liberty to say so, what way do you think that Devin will end his career? Before you go,
he'll probably try to do something fantastic that the people can't believe can do, and he'll probably try to do it at 160. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Bill, thank you so much for coming on, man. I know you got a family emergency, man. Salute to you, fam, man. May Allah be with you, and thank you, brother.
Hey, Allah Akbar, brother.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on.